Hello, I'm the basic average Twit and I have working sound now. Are we all happy? Of course, nobody's on my channel right now, and I have to double check some stuff. Do I have some good frame rates? Let's see here. And that's good. That's turned off. Alright, good job. Alright, so what I was talking about here happens to be, let's see, can I see the live chat? I can see the live chat if anybody joins the room. What I was talking about here is Ethan of h3h3 Productions. Just had a great video out about the Washington, why do I get this wrong all of a sudden? Good Lord. Wall Street Journal. I always say this. I was going to say the Washington Post. The Wall Street Journal, he had some strong evidence that maybe the pictures that were used to show that racist content had ads playing before it. This is what made a lot of advertisers pull back and stop sponsoring videos, which is causing a lot of problems for some of the big YouTubers that employ a lot of people underneath them, because they might have to cut some people, because when you're employing like 20 to 50 people underneath you to get the daily stuff done, and then all of a sudden half your money disappears, people are going to have to get going. You might be okay in a sense, but you have to let some people go. And then you have your middle YouTubers, or people that are very low quality, maybe less than 10,000 viewers, but you know, they get some good traffic and start depending on, say, $300 to $800 a month, all of a sudden down to nothing. And so if that were true, that the Wall Street Journal was faking these videos, or faking the ads, running the pre-roll ad before on something that was racist, which usually YouTube in general catches that immediately. And I've even had a video demonetized. What I did was, it's the video that I have titled War of Words Between Democrats and Republicans. And I talked about and used in the terms to try to get people to find the video. As I said the word molestation, I said it because it was in reference to Bill Maher talking about a teacher that was having a relationship with a young student, and Milo Yiannopoulos also talking about that, which ended up him getting fired, his book deal canceled, and he's stepped down from Breitbart. And so I talked about some of that stuff, and just the word molestation set off the flags, and YouTube demonetized. I fought it because I said it's just news. There's no real molestation. It's not used as a joke. It was used as an actual event. It was an actual story. My channel's kind of political, and I rant and rave. Now, this is the type of thing that I would expect that I would do. I'm not a journalist. I just talk about stuff. And so what's going on here is that Ethan has found some new information, and what he says is this, and let's go ahead and bring this over to it. What he says here is, upon further investigation, we found out that the video in question was at some point claimed, meaning we don't know if it was making money. So he's privatized the video for now, and he's looking at other details, and he'll update everybody shortly. So now the only problem I have, and I said this before where you couldn't hear me because my mic wasn't working, is I don't know what claimed means. And so the big thing is, what does claimed mean? And I don't know. It's interesting to figure out maybe what that is. Does it mean that the video, somebody else took it? Was it because a certain song was in it, and so they took the video and made profit off of it? Which would be ridiculous. That means the person in question, the racist with the title, didn't make anything. The video itself in question is something about something Alabama N-word, and I just tried to look for it to see what it was, and it almost seemed like it was, I know, a song. And so since I'm not familiar with, everything pop culture, I have no idea if that's a popular song. I'm guessing it's not. I'm sure I would at least hear about it. But who knows? I don't know what's going on with that part of stuff like that. But other than that, There's not a lot to report. I'm just refreshing to see if Ethan and Hila are going to make any additional information or if they're going to update any additional details. It is their livelihood they're talking about, so I wouldn't be surprised if they don't do some sort of update tonight, if not make a video about it, why they had to update or apologize maybe. We'll see. But I mean, it's a big deal, and big YouTube creators, even small or medium-sized YouTube creators, have their backs against the wall, and they feel like lashing out, and so it's not unexpected for people to get upset and grab at straws sometimes when this happens. Now you have to take into consideration that Ethan and other YouTubers, they're not journalists, and they don't sit there and depend on being 100% right. These are regular people that make money on YouTube, period. That's what they are. And so they have every right to lash out. Nobody said that they are or have journalistic credibility with the audience. Although maybe they would like to establish that type of rapport with their audience. For the most part, a lot of these YouTubers are joke channels, gamers, game streamers, and so and such. And my channel is the basic average Twit. I'm not sitting here saying I'm some huge conglomerate. It's all-knowing that works with all sorts of government to give you my political opinion. I'm an idiot that gives you my political opinion. That's the whole thing about this channel, is we can talk about my stupid political opinion, and maybe you have a stupid political opinion. Maybe we're very smart. Sometimes we could come together. Broken Watch is right at least twice a day. And so it's nice to talk about that. And yes, fuck the Wall Street Journal. I agree with you 100% there on that. And the thing with it, regardless if they're right, let's say they didn't fake any of this, okay? They didn't fake it. It is all true. Some of these ads ran on racist content. Okay, how long did it run before YouTube kicked in? And like I already said earlier, before maybe you even came in, how long did it run? Well, I had I had a video demonetized within 3 days. Why? Merely because I used the keyword molestation. I used it because it's in reference to Milo Yiannopoulos, and it was also talking about Bill Maher and what he was bringing up about a 30-year-old teacher, female, with a 12-year-old student. And so it was relative to the topic at hand, but my video is still demonetized. And there is no way YouTube allows clips with the N-word right on the title to be monetized for long before the algorithm kicks in and demonetizes it forever. So regardless of what this means that Ethan says, upon further investigation, we found out that the video in question was at some point claimed. We don't know if it was making money. Regardless of that, how long was it making money? Was it making money for a year? Was it making money for 5 days before they figured it out and they cut it off, which is almost nothing. So, and that really should factor into it. Well, these big ads pulling their companies because for a couple of days nobody really watched the content on some stupid racist channel. Do I think that maybe YouTube needs a little bit better standards? Maybe they could tighten things up a little bit? Sure. But do I think that all these creators in general should get screwed over because a couple small channels that are barely watched might put out some racist content? Absolutely not. And YouTube and the community as a whole will strive if YouTube commits to figuring out how the best ads get on the channels that will bring in the most money to the content creators, because their ads will be watched on that channel, and so they'll get money, and to the advertisers that are putting up the money, and that would be good overall. But this whole thing where it seems like the Wall Street Journal is using its reputation as a blunt object to kill YouTube, to say, hey, look at it's all content's racist, and it's, look at this, your ad's showing on racist content and making it a much bigger story than it is, making it seem like YouTube has zero control over anything. That's the bigger story. That's when you're affecting YouTubers' livelihoods, and that's why they would fight back. That's why Ethan would come out and make this video. And maybe he is wrong, and maybe the Wall Street Journal didn't fake anything. I don't know. I don't know that for sure. But he's not a journalist, and nobody expects him to be. He's a regular person that makes money off of YouTube, regardless of how internet famous he is, which isn't still the same as famous. He's still only internet famous. And as much as I love Ethan and H3H3 Productions, that still means something. He's just a regular guy that doesn't want to all of a sudden see that he's making like $1,500 a month living in LA, where that means nothing. He would be in a little shack in a bad neighborhood at $1,500 a month all of a sudden. And so they're fighting for their livelihood on top of the fact that he is dealing with other stuff and litigation. Per fair use copyright issues where he was looking at a video, so many things, or little details about the video, and then making comments and funny, humorous comments about the video in general, and the guy sued him for it. So, but we understand that that is not a huge deal. But anyways, let's see, does anybody even watch anymore? Yeah, me, I'm watching. But anyways, this is a good test run. I don't really have a lot of followers, and I'm not getting a lot of content. But that's alright. I'm just going to keep going through this sort of stuff and getting used to talking to people that may or may not exist. It's better than talking to the imaginary people in my head. I might as well turn on a light, turn on the camera, get the big old mic, and sit here and talk to somebody and pretend like I have friends. Alright, well, I'll go ahead and shut this off. I gotta go to my real job soon.